Hey guys, so I'm coming back on here with a nice long video today. I haven't done a real video probably in almost a couple months now. So I'm happy to be back. And I'm gonna be starting up obviously consistently. I have a lot written down that I want to hit today, so I'm just looking at my notes. Because I have so much I'm going to tackle today, and I know the title of the video that I'm going to be putting on this is when 2026 to 2028 when prophecy meets reality, because we're obviously approaching 2026 and I've said so much is about to happen, especially over these next couple years. So I'm going to be touching upon a lot today. So as always, obviously with the information that I share, take what you want, leave what you don't want, use your discernment, but a lot of it is remote viewing insights. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So obviously I wanted to start by saying that for some reason, I was really shocked. So I got my TikTok account back, which is really surprising, honestly. I appealed it months ago and they just reinstated it out of nowhere, last week. So very interesting. I don't know how I got it back, but I got it back. So I wanted to announce that. So I'm actually going to post my first video back on TikTok probably soon after I release this video onto YouTube. And I've just taken the last couple months to really dig deep and tap into, okay, how do it's golden hour, guys, so I'm just squinting over here, so sorry, I'm gonna get a few different angles in. But yeah, okay, so I've just been kind of looking, at what exactly I want to do. How do I want to run my content, right? Because I've been really conflicted, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not here to be a love and light guru, right? And I'm wearing white, so, oh my God, okay, whatever. But I'm not here to be a love and light spiritual guru, okay? That's not the frequency that I'm gonna go by, and if I by all means try to do that, it's not gonna come off authentically, because that's not my frequency style, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to be we're all gonna raise our frequency and we're gonna make this world perfect. No, I'm sorry, I'm not like that. That's and good for all those who are like that, and I totally love those type of spiritual influencers, and I occasionally watch a video of theirs, because I think it's important to have all different aspects, but that's not how I operate, and that's not how I'm supposed to operate. And I'm also conflicted because it's okay, guys, I don't want to be in the agendas 24/7. I don't want to be in the conspiracies 24/7. I don't want to be in the other end of things, right? So what's come forward for me is to walk the middle path. And what that means, exactly how I'm going to be, operating is I'm going to be walking the middle path. I'm not going to put a label to what I'm doing. I'm going to put out videos on 100 different things. I'm not going to be tied to one belief system, to one spiritual concept, to one this, to one that, to one that. Yes, my favorite thing to do is to remote view, obviously. But I'm not going to use that as my core identity with all of my content. I branch it into, see, what I do is I branch it in, but I'm not gonna be all in the nitty gritty all the time. I'm gonna try and balance okay, let's get the information on what's going on, and how can we ascend, how can we keep a high frequency through it, because we have to know the light and the dark to navigate this matrix. So I just wanted to hit the nail right on the head. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to be doing, 3 to 4 videos like this per month. So please be on the lookout. Consistency will begin from here on out. The only reason it was kind of iffy the last couple months was because of the harp series. I can't even believe I did that. What? How did I do that? I look back at it, guys. I don't know how I did that. I'm laughing because it's I don't know how I did that. And why would I have started that right off the bat? I mean, hey, it had its pros and cons. Right? Like, it had its pros and cons. But for me, that's in the past. One thing I did want to add on is that I did tap in recently because I'm like, okay, most of the, like, we shifted out of the hurricane season timeline. What's at play? Are the white coats up to anything? Or not the white coats. I always call them the white coats. I get them mixed up. The white hats. I don't even know why. I feel like white, I just get it mixed up. And I'm wearing white, so I don't really know what's going on today. But, so anyway, I was like tapping in, and I was trying to see, okay, have the white hats, because back in June, I got the timeline that the white hats in the GFL were ordering HARP to shut down or be exposed, by middle to end of 2026. So this was maybe a month ago in September. I tapped in just for my own knowledge of like, okay, what's actually going on? And it looks like HARP is surrendering control over to the white hats. So that's what I was able to find what was going on. So they are starting the process of ceasing their operations. And I have noticed, I mean, obviously, you know, what's been going on in the sky has gone down. It's not perfect, but I think there has been a change. So I think there is a changeover happening, but maybe I'll do a video on that in 2026 to confirm when it's over. Okay, so over the next, I wrote this down, in the next month to month and a half, I'm going to be providing you guys with information on when I'm looking to start one-on-one sessions and how to get in contact with me. Obviously, I'm not really reachable through social media for particular reasons. I'm energetically cut off on purpose. And through my process of obviously doing what I do, I don't listen to anyone really anymore, like on social media or online. Like, I've really been sovereign in what I'm doing to obviously keep myself energetically clear. So I'll obviously share, like, as we get to the end of the year on how to get in contact with me to do a one-on-one, and obviously I'll get more into that as we get closer, which I'm looking to start in January or February, which I've committed to back earlier this year, and I'm sticking to that commitment that's the time frame I'm gonna start what I'm gonna do one-on-one. And then next, obviously this video's gonna be a little long today, so yeah. So I just want to go over quickly. So obviously this video is going to be sum up on the prophecy predictions all coming true from 2026 to 2028. But what I wanted to share was kind of this 10-week window that we just exited. And I did a whole video on the 10-week window before the 10-week window happened from August to mid-October. And that was brutal. You know, that was brutal collectively. It was intense individually. I was going through a lot of shifts personally. It was intense. It wasn't easy at all. You know, I felt like I was going through like a mini death and rebirth, and like nothing, like, I wouldn't say it was anything severe or like I've ever been through before, but it was intense. Like October for me has been intense, and I don't know if it was because, you know, I actually don't know. I think that Aries full moon in the beginning of the month was wild, and the 10-10 window was intense, and there's just a lot that happened in September that I'm not even gonna get into, but there was just a lot, right? And yeah, I did want to like go to one of my predictions that kind of obviously came true with what happened what happened last month. And if you watch one of my prediction videos, I did kind of hit the nail on the head that there was about to be a false flag done by that shadow government. So that was the one. I think that prediction pretty much was on target, and unfortunately I kind of got a hit on the Texas flood before, like the week I said like that week something was gonna happen. So yeah, those were the two. So I was just looking back. So those were the predictions I made. So obviously there was stuff that unfolded since my last video, but collectively, you know, there's some stuff that's contracted to happen collectively to unfortunately, like, help in the ascension. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, right? So obviously, if you haven't checked out my predictions video, that video to check out, and that energy from August 1st, October 10th, that was a pretty important video too, because I looked back at it and I was like, whoa, I feel like everything I said in that video, like, somewhat had resonance to where we're at now in October. I mean, I feel like there has been a timeline shift. I feel like there's been a huge collective shift. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm like, okay. So I just wanted to share that. And yeah, it's, you know, we have hit a turning point. This 10-week window was a turning point. So I just wanted to mention that. I have so many papers here today, but we'll go through them. Okay, I wrote down so many notes. So now let me get on the video 11 minutes in. So the years 2026 through 2030 are carrying a frequency unlike anything we've ever experienced, right? So 2025 is really the buildup on what's about to happen. And we have a really good sense of a lot of shifts that are currently unfolding and that will continue to be unfolding. This is the period when prophecy is going to become reality. So through remote viewing and energetic insights, this time is not going to be about fear. This is an exciting time we are entering. This is a time we have all been waiting for. If you guys thought 2012 was going to be it, if you guys thought 2020 was going to be it, if you all thought 2024 was going to be it, 2026 through 2028 will rock your boat on what's happening collectively and individually with this ascension process, with the planetary prophecy. I mean, this is a prophecy planet, you know? And I'm sure you guys have heard that before. As the frequency keeps raising on the planet, all these hidden systems are just becoming so visible. I mean, it's right in our face. Nothing is hidden. I think you have to be very shut off consciously to not question the narrative as of October 2025. That's just straight up. Like, I don't have another way to put it. You know, as the collective frequency raises, the veil is thinning. And the faster, you know, energy is, you know, the collective energy is ascending and the frequency is raising on this planet, the more we're being lifted into this higher awareness that's coming with a deeper understanding of what's actually at play. And this is when, you know, this is when I can really branch in, like, sort of everything that's gone on and branch in, you know, the shadow government agenda, you know, the Illuminati agenda, the reptilian agenda, all those stuff is this stuff at play. It is at play with the ascension, right? Because we're fighting for control of our planet. And the more people are going to be awakening over the next several years, so the solution to the collapsing systems, the collapsing powers, is not what we've been told. It's just the conscious awareness. Because when we stop feeding, when we stop using our perception to feed what they want for us, what the reality is they want to create for us, they lose all the playing cards. When we just realize that it's all perception and it's all energetic awareness, when we listen to the news, when we listen to these narratives that they're shoving into us, that anyone with a conscious mind can just see right through, when, you know, all these things that are just so blatantly obvious are happening and they want us to buy it and we buy it, that's helping them hold the system together. When we see everything for what it is and we are like, it's not about panic, It's not about fear. It's not about division. It's not about us versus them. It's about us separating ourselves from what they want. That's exactly when the solution comes in. And that's when we can shut it down. Look at what we did this year with all these events that we've shifted the timeline with. There have been crucial stuff that we consciously just have been able to shift into another timeline, not by being in fear or being in division or being in any of these lower density vibrations, just through conscious awareness. So that's how easy it is to shift the reality on this planet. So the more we're obsessed over these agendas at play, and I'm always one to say, it's not about being in fear, it's about having this information to consciously do something about it. That's when we are able to actually do something about it, which I'm going to get into in this video. Okay, so yes, through my remote viewing insights, I sense 2026 will be the year the doorway truly begins to open. I mean, it has opened a lot in 2025, but 2024 is when, or 2026 is going to be when it's open really wide. We're going to feel the energy building, and I still have been getting confirmation about the solar flash happening at any point between 2026 and 2030, with the highest percentage year being 2028. And I'm not sure why, but the information that I was given, obviously through remote viewing and channeling, is 2028 is the highest year supposedly, because the collective awakening is coming in 3 waves supposedly. So I was given the information it's coming in 3 waves, and the first wave was 2012, the second wave is 2020, and the third wave is 2028. And the reason that 2028 is the highest year is because that's the year that's going to be the third and final piece of what's been going on every 8 years. And the timing is very interesting. But so that's why I saw the solar flash be the highest percentage that year, but it can really happen at any point between 2026 and 2030. I don't think it's going to happen past 2030. So we're going to feel the build up to the solar flash. And I did a whole video on that. So please check out the global blackout video and solar flash. And I'm kind of at the point where it's like, I don't feel the need to help lead the shift out of that timeline, because I'm kind of ready for it. I've been getting notified about that event since 2020. So, I'm probably, while everybody's panicking as it's happening, I'm probably going to be celebrating, honestly. So I'm kind of excited, and I think you guys should be too. Just have, obviously, I'd say starting next year, start stocking up on just some extra stuff. Because obviously there won't be food for a while, but I think it's still going to happen. And I recently remote viewed that exact timeline, and I still saw the same thing as I saw back in June. And I saw 2027 being the year of some sort of disclosure event. So I've been getting information for a while now that 2027 is going to be the year we are going to see like a full-on reptilian like glitch in public. Like I know it sounds like whatever, but I think there is a prophecy at play with 2027, because I have been seeing this in my remote viewing, and I know other remote viewers have been picking up on some sort of reptilian disclosure happening in 2027. So that would be amazing, because I think the frequency at that point is going to be elevated so rapidly that, like, for example, like, there's a celebrity on stage, like, and they're getting, the solar flares are coming, and, the frequency, the Schumann resonance is spiking constantly. Like, in that moment, like, I'm sure there will be windows where, like, one won't be able to hold its form, and, like, everybody's gonna have their camera out. Everybody's gonna get, you know what I mean? So I think that's inevitable. I mean, this happening is inevitable. I'm so excited to look back at me saying this a couple of years down the road. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And there are reasons it hasn't happened yet. And that all those reasons are going to be, like, as we enter 2026, like, we're in the window of it happening. And we weren't contracted for this until this moment. So it's really a buildup. But I don't think there will be a disclosure event in 2026. This is all 2027. But I see that event leading into what's going to happen with the solar flash. So this is just what I'm picking up on. Obviously, take it or leave it. Please, discernment is power. Okay, what I also picked up on is we're also going to notice eclipses and full moons intensifying energetically between 2026 and 2028. Each one will act as an amplifier for this transformation process. These lunar and solar events will be crucial checkpoints for realignment, release, and ascension as humanity continues to raise its vibration. So the more we utilize these eclipses and full moons, it's setting us up for stuff's going to hit the fan no matter what, in a good way, right? Not in a bad way. Like, everything we know it isn't going to be the same by the end of 2028. But the more we can really use these energetic windows to keep preparing, that's going to help us a lot for these shifts that are... I've been getting notified about this window for so long, and I really feel like the last 10 weeks, like, with just the information I got on that 10-week window we were in, and kind of how, like, I look back at the video and I was like, whoa, like, if that felt like a prophecy just looking back at it, because I was like, that just felt like it just felt like there was so much within that was just aligned, and I'm feeling it with what I'm saying now about what's about to happen. Okay, next. Okay, this one is interesting. This is interesting about what's sort of going to be happening. I see, okay, in 2026, I see religious systems buckling down hard. They're buckling down, especially in 2026, as narratives within these systems are going to begin to crumble. Should be very interesting to see. So many are going to cling even harder to their beliefs because it gives them a sense of stability and control as the system from within is crashing. But I saw what was very interesting is by 2027, lots within these institutions are going to be at an ascended point, like ascended enough to realize that they've been trapped within a particular 3D system that is no longer serving them. And within that, like, a lot is gonna, come to light about a lot of spiritual suppression, right? So a lot are gonna slowly leave those systems and become more sovereign. Sovereignty is key, especially in this window. And what's interesting about this is I noticed two types of interactions with, I guess, going through a spiritual awakening and also being a part of, religion. Is religion's not bad. I did a whole video on it. It helps you access 80% of what's going on, but it keeps you away from the 20% stuff that's the tools for ascension. So it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like enough to keep somebody locked in, but like, there are some spiritual components, but it's very tailored down, watered down. And when you cross the finish line of that 20%, you better watch out, because it's going to hit some conditioning pretty hard. But what I noticed, two types of things especially with the intersection with being in a religion versus spirituality, is there's two segments of people. There's the people that have their spiritual awakening. They're questioning everything, right? And the information leads them to consciousness and frequency and all this hidden stuff about this reality, right? And there is a lot of different spiritual components to all this, right? And a lot of the time the individual hits a point where, they're not integrating it enough. They're not doing all the inner work, and they get very scared. And then it's like their programming kicks back in and they get sucked back into religion as they're typically trying to break out to that system, get into like alignment with just a higher frequency or a higher consciousness away from those systems. But then it's like there's a point of fear, of guilt and shame, and then they get sucked back in. So I know that there's an aspect to that, to some of the intersections. And I also know there's an aspect of people sort of awakening, but buckling down on this belief system to help them feel like they have some sort of control over what's really going on, which there is a lot, like, obviously I know people go through, and for those who choose to stay on like a religious path, obviously that's your conscious choice. Everybody has free will. But I'm bringing this up because there's going to be a huge crumbling within religious systems, especially when it relates to certain cosmic events and all these things that they've been covering up, and all these ascension codes that are totally just, yeah, you know, there's a lot of, you're locked in, and, you know, it is group mentality. Like, I never done well in group mentality. And I guess it's a good, ooh, dragonfly. I guess a good example I could give about sort of that 80% mark with religion, it's like when you cross over, like, or when you kind of question what's beyond that, like, you will be shut down. Like, it's almost like the example I could give is, I could relate religion and AA just a little bit from my personal experience. But in AA, I remember, like, I would question the narrative and be like, this is not aligned with my frequency, whatever. Like, and there'd be people, you know, coming up to me and being like, that's your disease talking. This is dangerous. And that's 3D programming. And it's also 3D programming when, you know, you're talking to somebody who you know or you're close with that's religious, and you just briefly talk about ascension and being sovereign and all that, and like not buying any system, and they're like, you're taken over by satanic forces, you're not working for God. And I'm like, it's the same trap, just two different belief systems, right? So it's like when I started just seeing through that, it just gave me so much clarity on the path that I was on, and I just I'm never gonna turn back. Like, once you leave the matrix, you're not gonna go back to the matrix. So that's that. So yes, I just wanted to mention about the religious thing. So we're gonna see buckling down, but then in 2027 to 2028, a huge shift within, a conscious shift, coming back to that consciousness of what it was supposed to be originally. Okay. So next I have, you know, those who are already living in higher consciousness may feel more and more that they don't fit into the structures between 2026 and 2028. Because as the frequency is going to keep raising, we're going to fit in less and less to this matrix. But this is by design. So I got direct confirmation it's by design. We're meant to hold the light where we don't fit in. So this is because millions of others will quietly be going through the same process, and we're going to be that light while being sort of the last in, like, when all the systems fall, like those who are already awakened, like, we're going to be the first ones to create the new system. So like, it's almost like we're going to be the first ones out, and like, I mean, we're kind of already up, but you know what I mean? Like, we're going to be the first ones to like rebuild this conscious frequency. I mean, it's already happening, and we're already doing it, but we're still in these structures. Like, people are still in their 9-to-5s. People are still needing to be in some sort of matrix structure at this time to hold their frequency, because the more we're authentic with who we are in a system that's not meant for us, the more that we're going to actually help activate others. So that's interesting. So okay, so I said as the shift unfolds, we're going to see in between 2026 to 2028, we're going to see early signs of new Earth systems forming, and it's not going to happen overnight. The frequency of the planet isn't ready for widespread 5D living just yet. So we're not meant to instantly escape all the old structures. So for me, I just consciously, I'm in some old structures, but I don't give my power to it. And sort of just laugh at the consciousness of the structure. Like, it's just playing the game until like everything sort of happens that we know is coming. So it's just kind of about just like really healing within in the meantime while all these shifts unfold. But by the end of 2028, there will be 5D. So I'm going to get into that. Like, okay. Okay. What else did I say? Yeah, so we're going to be, you know, really on the front lines of everything that's going to be happening in the next couple of years. So now I'm going to get into, okay, so one other thing, let me find what I wrote, because there's a couple other topics that I wanted to hit. Okay, so during the next 3 years, so 2026 to 2028, now there's like a helicopter flying above me, and I'm like, sorta not sure if you can hear me, but I said during this time period, it's going to be essential to be upping practices to keep us grounded in balance, because we are going to be on the front lines. We're going to be out of a 9-to-5 job because so many people are going to be having activations in these next 3 years. People are going to be waking up out of nowhere. It's about to get wild. And I've been getting information on the 2026 to 2028, like those couple years, being like, people are just going to wake up out of nowhere. And those of us are not going to have to work a 9-to-5, you know, after the next couple years, because so many people are going to be taking on, like, needing services with their awakening, right? So like, not even just coaching and energy work and all that, but it's going to happen on such a global scale over the next couple of years that it's the 5D shift is getting mainstream, and it's getting mainstream fast. And I see it happening firsthand, and that cannot be hidden at all. At all. The 5D shift is getting mainstream, and I can't believe I'm even saying that right now. So what I could recommend, until obviously all these new earth opportunities come our way, which are going to start slowly coming in 2026, but really that 2027, 2028, like those two, like the system will fall. I'm convinced that by the end of 2028, the Cabal's fallen, the Illuminati's fallen, the reptilians have surrendered control, because there's going to be enough of us that have taken back conscious control over the planet, and they won't have anything to feed off of anymore. We're not going to be, you know, at the conscious level of this matrix, if that makes sense, like the system that they've made. And so many people are breaking out left and right now. It's amazing to watch. But just a couple other things that I wanted to add regarding all this is, especially within, you know, certain spiritual practices right now, like during this time period, what I wrote down, because I found this to be very important, is meditation, breath work, time in nature, frequency healing music, and energy rebalancing, tapping. So important during this time period, because we want to be as sovereign and energetically clear as possible, because we're going to have those who have listened to where we're coming from for years, right, with everything. And those individuals are going to really start to question. They're going to want to go to people that have been through it, as they're going to go through it during this time period. I mean, it's inevitable. Right now, I'd say maybe 5% of the population's fully awakened, maybe a little less. But that number is going to be getting up to 15 to 20% by the end of 2028, given all these shifts that are going to be happening, and the solar flash happens and all these other awakening-like events. If we have 15 to 20% of the population fully sovereign in 5D, we can declare we took our planet back, right? Like at that point, like we have the planet back. Like if 20% are consciously in 5D, it's over for the system. Like that's it. So we're technically at like maybe a little more, 5%, which is pretty high. But once we get to that 15-20% mark by the end of 2028, wow, like things are going to get good. This is going mainstream, guys. So I also put down avoiding gossip, drama, and anything that lowers frequency, staying in alignment with source frequency. So that's very important. The next few years are about mastering our energy field so that nothing in the external could pull us out of our center, right? So it's like, we're not going to be needing just anything within the matrix structure anymore to keep us going, you know? Okay, this is wild. This is wild. I'm almost wrapping this video up, but I wanted to say, I saw a huge shift within Gen Z as we move through this period. So many of Gen Z is going to start to realize that the world, you know, that they've been pawns for the Illuminati. I mean, oh, I just said that so casually. I mean, Gen Z has been pawns for the Illuminati and the reptilian agenda, okay? Like, I don't know how else to say that. I'm 20, I'm obviously a Gen Z person, and it's comical what they've done. Like, I don't even know how to get into it, honestly. It's just like, whatever. I mean, yeah, they really destroyed Gen Z. I mean, it was coordinated, but whatever. So, okay, I saw Gen Z going through their awakening during these, like, not everyone in Gen Z, obviously, but a huge portion of Gen Z that's been used as pawns, or almost like giving their power away to the system to think that they're like fighting for something. They're going to turn to themselves and feel that consciousness from within that they're giving to be a part of some sort of agenda. They're going to realize, oh shit, like, that's not how we're supposed to change things. It comes from within, and it comes from that inner healing, and not having this system that's really done damage to me use me for a pawn, if that makes sense, because Gen Z has been used for pawns 1000%. So I saw Gen Z like questioning the narrative, like not buying the 9-to-5 structure. Like, I see a huge segment of Gen Z like going 5D, like, honestly, like, are having their ascension. I don't know the percentage within Gen Z that are actually awakened right now. It's very, 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 very few. And I pray every single day that young people actually can wake up to what's been going on. But obviously, you know, they have to go through it themselves. But yeah, Gen Z's been hit hard by the Illuminati Agenda 1000. I'm going to do a whole video on like how they fucked over Gen Z. And how it was a coordinated agenda with the, there's a bug, with the climate change and all those other types of agendas that they push with Gen Z to create a serious, like, they took a lot of starseeds that are Gen Z, you know, a lot of Gen Z are incarnated starseeds, and they came here for the time we're in now, but like the agenda was to like distort their mission to like fighting to save the Illuminati system. So like, or the fight for, like, literally they're giving their power to the shadow government. Like, it's so sad. Like, I'm honestly like saying that, like, I have so much compassion for Gen Z who has given their power away to the system. Like, they have been played really bad, and there has been a huge gap of people who are awakened, an age gap. I know the people that watch my videos, I love it. You're all over 50. Good. Like, there's just that gap, and that's okay. And I obviously got activated fairly early, but, you know, yeah, like, so Gen Z, I can get into a lot with Gen Z. Very sad, but also during this window, very hopeful. I'm very hopeful for Gen Z taking their power back and leaving what they have been brought up to do by the education system and by all these structures that have totally distorted their mission to save a reptilian system. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, what they've done is to, because I've been in the education system. I know for a fact what they've tried. They're literally turning Gen Z into an advocate to like saving the reptilian system. So that's that. It's sad, honestly, and the sun's about to go down, so I'm going to get along here. So yes, so it's going to be really exciting when Gen Z wakes up. I'm hopeful that there will be a rebellion with Gen Z, because I think more Gen Z knows that something is off than what maybe I'm feeling. I think Gen Z is fairly awakened to something's off. And that's that. Like, that's all. But I think they need to learn how to get their power back that the system has totally stripped from them, coordinated during this time to pull all these people off course. So huge shift within Gen Z, which is exciting. And then, as we get, through the 2026 to 2028 window, it's going to be more important than ever to know what our soul mission is. Those couple years are going to be the most pivotal and most transformational years that this planet has ever gone through. And I know a lot of spiritual people and remote viewers, whatever, they're like, 2030, 2035, 2038, 2044. It's happening now. So I hope to give you hope by saying that. Now meaning the next couple of years. I mean, I've said this for a while, but it's going to continue to happen. And this is important, even when it feels like our light isn't welcomed or ignored or being shut down, we have to keep showing up and shining anyway, because what we do now is mattering in the long run. Me being as vulnerable as I have on here is going to matter in the long run, right? And there's a lot more stuff that I'm going to be wanting to do, and I am so excited, and this is not it. But I wanted to just get with this video because I thought that this was going to be an interesting video to do. So obviously, use your discernment with what I shared. Everything we once knew is being stripped away, and the prophecy of where we're heading is unfolding right in front of our eyes. The old energetic patterns are really going down so quickly. And in 2026, we're going to start seeing that clear reflection in the world, and individually and collectively. Lastly, I am going to help as best as I can during what's going to happen. And I know I'm just going to be using all the knowledge and insights that I've been able to activate so far to really help whoever I can that's in a 5D way. Like, obviously I've been over that. I don't help. I don't, when I help people, I'm very intentional about helping people in 5D and not helping people in 3D. Because if I'm going to help you, we're going to help you ascend. We're going to help you heal what you need to heal and not be in victim mentality and all that. So that's what I mean. But I'm going to be on the front lines of this, and I'll be able to assist in any way that I can. And we're all supported. We're at the tail end of waiting, because everything we felt deep down is finally becoming reality and is just around the corner. The higher good we've always known was possible, and that's going to be unfolding on this planet, has been in motion. And obviously, make sure to, if this video resonates, please share, please like, please subscribe. I know I don't say that a lot because I really don't care about that, but it'll probably just help, because I don't think I don't know if I'm shadow banned or what, I even care at this point, but I don't think my videos have even been getting any reach on YouTube, so we'll see how it does on TikTok. I'm actually really interested. I'm going to be posting my first TikTok back probably just after I post this video, so take a look at that. And overall, just hang in there, everybody. I know it seems like this month of October has been very intense, and I'm going to do, as we get to the end of the year, I'm going to get into specific energy coming for 2026 and more in-depth energetics, and then remote viewing stuff that's going to be happening, like predictions and all that. This was more like a prophecy stuff, but just know, there's still energetic shifts happening. November and December gonna be lighter, right? We're gonna have a little lull, and I don't think it's gonna get as intense as what it was in 2025 energetically. 26 through 28 is just using what we know to help while everything else comes apart, and that's ultimately my message for today. So I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I'm so excited to see, you know, where my journey takes me, on what I film next, and I just like not tying myself down to one thing. So with that, I'm sending you all love and light once again, and I will see you guys in the next video.